So what we doing, y'all? I keep seeing these videos of everybody tracking gas prices. What we doing, y'all? Y'all let me know what we doing. So I went and looked, still not knowing what we doing. I looked and checked our prices. Ours is around about $3 where I live at. So what's the gas prices where y'all at? And then y'all let me know, why is everybody tracking gas prices? Y'all trying to make sure they going down, or are we about to see a surge in gas prices like we never seen before? But I keep seeing a lot of videos, so had to ask. But anyway, before we get into all the craziness, y'all know how this goes. Question everything. You should. And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's get to it.
Hey, I'm eating like an egg right now because I'm going for a walk, even though it's 17 degrees outside. And apparently we're tracking gas prices now too and other things. So while I do my little lunchtime walk, we're gonna check the price of gas. So come along with me to check gas prices for day 2 of 1,461 days of you know what. Quick fit check. Amazon, Patagonia.
Why that many days? I'm still confused and I'm in the dark. I don't like being in the dark. Let me know, man, why that many days? Is that just random, or it can't be? It gotta be something.
Amazon Hoka. Yeah, lots of Amazon going on here. While I'm here, I might as well report on the weather. It's cold outside in New Jersey. The only reason I'm outside right now, walking outside and not on the treadmill in my building, is because I've got y'all on my neck expecting me to report on this. But I am working on a spreadsheet that's coming tonight. Don't worry, it'll be in my there it is. Anyway, those are the gas prices for today, January 21st, 2025. Hey.
I know it's only like about 10 cents, but why y'all, I would expect it up north would have been higher. I don't know why. I guess that's how it was throughout my life. When I would talk to family up in New Jersey, they would always talk about the prices being so much higher. That and the cigarettes. When we were younger, I guess cigarettes was a thing, so people would stop at like south of the border and take cartons of cigarettes up to New Jersey because they were paying astronomical prices. So you always heard about the gas and the cigarettes when I was younger. How much is a carton of cigarettes now? I mean, I don't smoke, but how much?
Hello, friends. It is January 21st, and this is day 117 in Western North Carolina, and there are still families, communities living in tents. Okay, living in tents. Today, my amazing team went up to Asheville to deliver some goods to a family that has been kicked out by FEMA on the 14th, okay? And they thankfully got a camper through our organization, through girls that work with us, and that is amazing, but that is not the issue. It is day 117, and we still have families living in tents, living in tarps. We just took a massive, massive load up to a community up there in Western North Carolina where there were 82 people living in tents, under tarps, and in campers, all due to the storm. Okay, so yes, for those of you guys are saying, oh, North Carolina has been helped. Oh, they're good. They're covered. Oh my gosh, blah, blah. No, they're not. They're not. They are not okay. And I just want to show you that here we are 117 days later. And I know it's really hard to see in this picture, but if you go to our actual thing, you'll be able to zoom into this picture. There are at least 4 hot tents down here in this corner right here. You have all kinds of tents. And then down there in the bottom photo is a massive tent by the railroad tracks that is a larger hot tent, more likely for a larger family. But I just wanted to let you guys know that they are still freezing. It is cold. There are still people living in tents. There are still people without water. There are still people without fresh water. There are still people needing generators. There are still people needing tents. There are still people needing food. There are still people that just cannot get on with their they don't have the basic necessities. They don't have a way down the mountain. They are still relying on volunteers like you and me. So yes, we are still helping. I have not posted a lot. about them, but we are continuing to help them every single day. And if there is something that you want to do to help them, we do have our Amazon links in our bio. Our entire warehouse is still full of donations that we get every single day. We are still sending stuff out every single day. We're still having organizations come and fill up their trucks every single day. We are still having girls run stuff up the mountain every single day. So just because I'm not talking about it, we're still happening. I'm still talking about it. It's still here. It's still going on. And yes, we are still accepting donations that are brand new. We've added a lot of stuff that they have requested to our Amazon wish list, you guys. But just know it is still a need. And I pray that this Friday, when our administration goes up there, that they see this. I'm praying that he goes to Swannanoa, friggin' Black Mountain, Old Fort, all of those areas that are hard hit that still look like they do on day one. So for those of you guys that are still helping, reposting, sharing, talking about them, I appreciate you. I appreciate you more than you know, because it is still a massive issue. Hello, friends. It is January 21st.
I mean, reposting, sharing, speaking about it. That's the least we could do, bro. So we just gonna continue to spread that word and make it known the best that we can. You know what I mean? With the platforms we have, every little bit counts.
This message is for President Trump, who will never see it, but I have to say it. I'm nobody. First of all, sir, congratulations. We are all so proud of you. Also, thank you for going to Western North Carolina. But when you are there, there's a couple names that someone needs to make you aware of, even if that someone isn't me, and I'm going to get the names wrong. But these people, Kai Brands, Amber's TikTok tips, Puddin', Jolly Green Giant, these folks have been in this war zone since day one. They have tirelessly helped Western North Carolina. Not single-handedly, but by volunteers and donations, and them running these hubs all by themselves. And they are American heroes. And I hope that somehow, some way, you get these names to you so they can be acknowledged. Again, congratulations, sir. And we are so grateful that you're back. Much love. And much love to Western North Carolina.
My egg video, everybody said, go to Aldi's, go to Aldi's. Well, we are buy one. I'm going in to see how much the eggs are. Time trip to Aldi. Apparently, you need to put a quarter in to get this card out.
So I'm going to put a quarter in so I can get my money back and so on and so forth.
That be irking me about all these. I'm sorry, man, but that does, bro. Who carries around change anymore? I rarely have change. So that always gets me. So now I got to walk inside the store, carry around all the groceries until I found like a box on the aisle or something, then carry around this huge box. My bad. Quick little rant. Sorry.
All right, that was easy.
For all you people who said to go to Aldi's to buy eggs, guess how much they are here? There. $7.42 for 1 dozen. My egg video.
And you saw that sign? Limit 2. Limit 2. Did we ever think we would see the days when we were limited on the mountain of eggs, the amount of eggs we can get at the store? This is crazy, bro, that we're here.
For some reason, I keep thinking about Atlantis. Don't watch this video if you're not open-minded. A lot of people are saying we are in Atlantis, and this is the old world.
The civilization of Atlantis existed for thousands of years, and it was the entire world. It was not just an island out there.
Which makes sense because there are pyramids that are all over the world that align with the same star system. Giza, Mexico, China. I'm a strong believer that there are portals around this planet, and they knew how to use them to build these pyramids. That's why so many around the world. I'm pretty sure y'all saw this video.
Let nobody go through it. Did you know that you can walk through the Grand Canyon, and if you keep walking through the Grand Canyon, you'll end up in Africa?
There are Egyptian relics, hieroglyphics, artifacts, mummies in America because they were here. You ever wonder why it was so important for them to suppress this information for a century? Pyramids in Antarctica, Illinois. There are places in America that is restricted. The Hoover Dam. And we know the Grand Canyon and plenty of more spaces. The largest pyramid to ever be built is in America. The Atlanteans understood the energy of this planet and they knew how to manipulate it. Notice that there are weird levels of energy, like the Bermuda Triangle that makes things disappear. I told you they restrict off these high-level energetic places. I find it funny that one of the Egyptian gods has the head of an animal that's native to America, the ibis. Rashad Jamal also goes to say that the 33rd parallel was the capital of Atlantis, which is in Atlanta, Georgia.
It's called Atlanta. It is on the 33rd parallel, which is one of the most powerful veins on the planet, because this was the capital of our realm, Atlantis. Our capital stretched. It was all of Georgia, all of Florida.
Can't stretch this enough, do your own research. I feel, though, that America is the old world. Now watch this. It is said that Atlantis went down in a flood. In America, it shows water erosion in the Grand Canyon.
We're underneath the water. That means that this place was underneath water. The Great Flood. The rocks are red. When the water oxygenates the sediments, they turn red.
Well, then if history is going to repeat itself, which people tend to believe it does, then that explains the global warming and the ice melting and the water rising and what they're predicting for the future, right? So if this is, it kind of lines up in a sense that you can make an argument and a case for that.
Now I need you to watch this.
Whenever Atlantis went down, a lot of them, some of them went to Egypt, the one survivors, and some of them went to Egypt.
I'm sorry, I just need to hear it one more time.
Some of them went to Egypt, the one survivors, and to other places.
Y'all do what y'all want. I'm just connecting my thoughts. Notice how she says they went to Egypt and they had powers to build such monuments.
Stone. This is where the pyramids and everything were developed later, were by the survivors of Atlantis, who still carried the knowledge of how this was done.
Put two and two together yourself and y'all have a good day. Just so you know, these blinds been closed. Stay dangerous, y'all.
String theory was developed by Robert Merton in the 1930s as a means to explain why people engage in crime or deviant behavior, as they described it. Now, the theory was expanded by Robert Agnew in the 90s, which is more of an accepted version of the strain theory, in which he identified 3 strains or stressors that would lead to deviant behavior. Number 1 being failure to achieve positively valued goals. Examples include financial or academic success. Number 2 strain would be the loss of positively valued stimuli, i.e. something important is taken away from you, like the loss of a family member or the loss of a job. And number 3 being presentation of negative stimuli, such as tough times, abuse, neglect, or chronic illness. All of this thus leads to a negative emotional response, which leads to deviant behavior. Now, there are a few factors that influence the response to strain. Number 1 being coping resources and skills. Part A of that is having the resources or family support, and part B of that would be your level of problem-solving skills, which can be influenced by age and environment. Your personality can influence your ability to respond to strain, such as someone that's more aggressive or impulsive. And finally, your perception of the strain can also influence your response to it. Like, do you feel like the strain on you is morally wrong or unjust? All of these factors determine your risk level of engaging in behavior that goes against societal standards and a way of coping with these said strains. Trust me, I know the importance of accountability, but we definitely have to also give people grace, because they're not the only ones at fault for their wrongdoings. Y'all have a blessed day. Strain theory was the...
That's definitely pretty interesting, man. You know what I mean? Especially for those of us who always looked at people being born or growing up in poverty-stricken situations, no money, no family, being in the system, being, and again, just like he said, no excuse, because there are people who come out of those situations that make it out of those situations without resorting to crime and violence. You know what I mean? But a lot of people that are in those situations resort to those means, and studies have shown.
We know that our behavior has been modified is because we are not doing what all other intelligent creatures do, which is to exalt a full effort in our living, know their food, excrete their waste, know their kind, perpetuate themselves, and be able to respond when they sense that their lives are being threatened. On top of the meat, the dairy, the eggs, the chicken, the fish, then you have the pancakes, the waffles, the breads, the biscuits, the croissants, the donuts, the pastas, the pastries. Flour and water make paste. That's what we did our paper mache with when we go to school in 2nd grade. So now everybody's body is full with all of this paste. That's called mucus. And that paste is binding the nitrates, nitrites, BHA, BHT, artificial colors, artificial flavors, all of the behavior modifying chemicals.
Behavior modifying.
We know that our behavior.
Yeah, man. All jokes aside, your gut is so important, bro. And the stuff that you have in your gut is probably the root and cause of a lot of the ailments and sicknesses that you deal with. I'm coming to learn that the older I get, man. You know what I mean? It's still hard. It's still not easy. And with prices the way they are with the food, it makes it even harder because trying to afford a healthy lifestyle will send you to those poor, impoverished, stricken situations that we were just talking about with crime. So it's like, man, it's hard, and sometimes it feels like their foot is just on your neck because you're trying to do the right thing, but circumstances won't allow it.
I don't know who Susie is, but I would like to know what's going on with the drones. Susie.
It's interesting. Yeah, I know you would. Your father would too.
But is it anything these drones? Is it anything that people need to be worried
No, I think it's terrible. I would like to find out what it is and tell the people. In fact, I'd like to do that. Could we find out what that was, Susie?
No. Respectfully, Mr. President, we're on day 2. You told us we would have the answers on day 1. We, the people of New Jersey, are just wondering what the is going on in our skies. Although I have to say, I stopped looking up. I don't really care anymore. They were here. I don't know how much, if they're still here, but I still want to know what they were. I also would like to know why my electronics have not been working properly since they arrived. Susie, do your job. We'll be waiting.
It's Mylene. Is it? Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? It has an actual smiley face. This is so funny. Wow, this is a different one. In a different area. It's southeast.
Okay, I live in Boca Raton, and it is so foggy, and I know it just looks like regular fog right now, but let me show you my security camera footage, and you guys tell me it is not fog. Like, you cannot tell me that that is regular fog. It looks like snow, but then it's like floating around. It does not make any sense. You can kind of see it in this video. Like, this is not fog. Like, what is going on? Okay, I live in Boca Raton.
Like, it's hard to tell, bro. Just go listen to one of those videos with Alexa talking about smart dust or something like that. Go listen to those videos, bro, and then go back and look at this video. It's hard to tell because some people want to jump right out and be like, oh, that's just normal fog. What is wrong with you? And some people are like, nah, this is something different. It smells different, and it's making me feel different.
They got us. What happened to the drones? What happened to the orbs? What happened to the California wildfires? What happened to North Carolina? What happened to the stuff happening in other countries? What happened to the car exploding out front of Trump Tower? What happened with the situation in New Orleans? What happened with the situation in Vegas? It seems like my FYP has been reset, and I actually started noticing this before the TikTok ban. I made a video about it because once the TikTok ban was happening, all that was coming up on my FYP was videos about the TikTok ban. No matter how much I ignored them, that's all I saw. And then they banned it for 12 hours and we're back. What an interesting experiment that was, huh? Anyways, I'm trying to get my FYP to start FYPing again, but I think the cat videos keep getting me. I love the cat videos, but it just feels like a lot of stuff is missing. You know what I mean? Just really, really, really makes you wonder. Anyone else? Anyone else's FYP not FYPing?
Was seeking a new weapon aimed not at the body, but at the mind.
Those who control your words control your mind.
You said the president is using mind control.
Smart home devices and even your home security system can all be used to cyberstalk you. Of the agents experienced sort of pressure on their head. They reported hearing a strange noise and a ringing in their ears. Both of them also became nauseous and dizzy. Now, their symptoms are consistent with what's known as Havana syndrome.
Continues on the 10 o'clock news. You'll find out if electromagnetic mind control is even possible and how.
U.S. officials say there are now 130 suspected victims, mostly CIA operatives and U.S. diplomats being treated for brain injuries, debilitating headaches, and vertigo, the targets they believe of a directed energy microwave weapon.
Hundreds of people in the valley say they are hearing voices in their heads. Those voices are being transmitted by microwave or other methods.
Well, several viewers asked us to investigate what they call electronic harassment. KMIR 6's Angela Monroe joins us now with what she's discovered. Angela.
Electronic harassment, synthetic telepathy, voice-to-skull technology. Chances are you haven't heard of these terms, but after searching the internet, I found dozens of websites dedicated to the phenomenon and several Valley residents who say they're victims.
How much more can you invade me than to go into my brain?
Firefighters battling the massive wildfires in Southern California are once again facing powerful Santa Ana winds. The National Weather Service issued red flag warnings yesterday through 10 p.m. tonight. The fierce winds increase the risk the fires could spread and may help spark new fires. The wildfires across the LA area have killed at least 27 people, destroyed more than 14,000 structures, and charred some 60 square miles. Wow. And yesterday, former Vice President Kamala Harris traveled to California to help distribute food to victims and to thank fire crews in Altadena.
All right, so we got another whistleblower that just came out today. Whatever his name is, thankful for him. There have been whistleblowers for decades. For decades, they've been whistleblowers since the 1940s. People with military credentials, top secret clearance, all of that. It's been going on for decades. There's no human being that's going to bring us disclosure. I've come to that conclusion. It's just not happening, bro. It's not. Dr. Greer got a bunch of people coming out in the next week, supposedly. More whistleblowers. I mean, unless they got footage, pictures, movies with AI, any of us going to trust that shit? No, we're not. The only disclosure is going to come from the aliens when their ships are parked above us and they ain't no more denying them. That's the only disclosure we're going to get. Whistleblowers? I don't think so.
I get it. A lot of people want to see an alien walk across the stage, communicate, say we're here, bring his friends, relatives, buddies with him. And that's the way some people will only believe, you know what I mean? But we got to take it as it comes, man. Like, as people give more information, more whistleblowers come forth, expose more, we have to like continue to receive the information and go step by step, bro. I know the process seems slow and it's frustrating. I agree. I get frustrated with it because I want more footage. I want more evidence. I want to, you know what I mean? But we have to take it as it goes, bro. I get it. A lot of people are frustrated at how slow the process is. But you have to think about how many cover-ups have taken place, and all this stuff has to be exposed. You get what I'm saying? Like, all of this has to be exposed. Everything that's been covered up. All of the precautions and classified and hiding and destroying of evidence and manipulating people and all of this type of things that has been done has to be, it's all a part of the process. The intimidation, all of that type of stuff. You should be happy that people are coming forward and speaking out and are no longer afraid. They've been intimidated for decades.
Never heard this noise in my life here. Nothing in the sky. Fog came in, covered the bridge. All of a sudden, something wants to hide behind this fog and be loud and crazy sounding. it. And I work on this bridge every day.
Listen, if you believe in weather and climate manipulation, seeing something like this, bro, should stress you out, because this is a perfect example of a way to cover things up that could be happening in the background. This is a perfect example of it.
Ross, always good to have you. I mean, man, big news, big deal to be on this podcast with Don Jr. My question is, if he's showing interest, can we take that to mean that his dad will take it seriously in his new administration?
Well, firstly, good morning, Marky, and I certainly hope so. I can tell you that we're earnestly hoping that through Don Trump Jr. we can basically let the president know that the UAP issue is a priority for many Americans. People have had a gutsful with being gaslit and being told that they're not seeing what they're seeing. They want answers. They genuinely want transparency. And I think we're at a point now where, with these witnesses we've got coming forward this weekend, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we're putting out a story where we've got multiple witnesses who are giving first-hand evidence of a retrieval program of, believe it or not, and I know this is confronting, alien craft. The allegation is that the United States has recovered non-human technology. And I know that's mind-blowing, but for many Americans it will be confronting, but it's real, and it really is real. And I've been talking now for 2+ years to people who work inside this program, and they're really frustrated. They want America to know about this because they're very excited about these discoveries, and they think.
My thing is, the longer it takes, the longer this stuff is drawn out as well, the more time you give them to cover it up. The whole retrieval program, the evidence for the retrieval program. They'll even go as far as making the people who are outing them or who are whistleblowing, make them look crazy, alter their files or their backgrounds or their history and stuff like that to paint them in a different light and picture.
It's time the public knew.
I mean, you broke this story, for us right here on News Nation with your sit-down interview with David Grush. You have another big special airing this weekend that you just mentioned. And I wanted to air a little bit of that because you recently interviewed the Air Force veteran. His name is Jacob Barber. He's the whistleblower who says he was the helicopter pilot who retrieved UAPs for the government. Let's take a quick listen to what he told you and what he saw.
How long have you known this secret about unidentified anomalous phenomena being of non-human origin?
For more than 10 years. We did recover things that were exotic in nature in the sky, and we know they were classified craft. And we recovered them and took them back to where they go.
Now that is clearly technology that is certainly not known.
I got within 150 feet of this object.
We are not alone.
We are not alone.
I mean, Ross, wow. I mean, more than 10 years. What about his story stood out from the countless other interviews that you've conducted over the years?
It's his credibility. The man is a former Tier 1 elite military serviceman. He's worked at the highest levels of the US military. And in order to prove that, we spoke to colleagues of his who are members, or former members rather, of Delta Force, like one of the most elite military units in the US military.
Can you imagine how hard it is these whistleblowers are making it for anybody else to go into those positions? Imagine the screening process now for somebody to be a Tier 1 and take over his position that he left. Imagine the contract that they will sign, the process that they will go through, the background erasing that'll probably happen, and the mind control that'll happen to certain people. Like, I can only imagine, man.
And they are telling us this man is an absolute straight arrow. He's decorated, he's well recognised, well respected, and more importantly, they corroborate. We have people who corroborate this man's story that he was involved in retrievals on a place he calls the Range. Out of respect to the government, he's not revealing exactly where that is, nor is he revealing the intelligence agency that he was an operative for. But basically, he's saying that for many, many years, he was working for a three-letter intelligence agency in the United States involved in the retrieval of alien spacecraft. And the incredible thing about this, Marky, is everybody shakes their head and goes, oh, this is nonsense.
Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah.
I know. And I thought that too when I first started investigating this, but believe me, it's true. And I find it absolutely incredible because people in uniform, people at the highest levels of the intelligence community are telling me it's time that America knew this secret.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, to your point, why would these people who are so highly decorated with, such impressive resumes make any of this up? Some stunning claims. Can't wait to watch. Ross Coldhart, thank you so much, as always.